Hello everyone, welcome to Jacqui at Home. Hello everyone, today we are making my sesame roasted chicken. This is such a delicious dish, very savory, sweet with a little bit of spice, and it is very easy to make during the weeknight if you want a quick, hearty meal. Let's get into it. We're gonna start off with 6 chicken thighs, and I love using chicken thighs for this because number one, they're cheaper, and number two, the dark meat just offers a more delicious, luxurious flavor, if you will. I have 6 here. No, can I even count? I have 5. I have 5 here. But you can also, this is kind of a large roasting pan for how much chicken I have in here, but my family is a family of 4, so this will do us fine. You could get away with doing this recipe and doing like 6 to 8 chicken thighs if you want. The first thing we're gonna do is we're going to season our chicken thighs. We're going to be adding a pretty flavorful marinade to these. I just like to make sure we season at every point. It's very important to season chicken, even if you are putting a marinade on it. So I'm just using a little bit of salt and pepper, just a smidge. And I'm going to flip them and season the other side. So today we are making sesame roasted chicken, like I mentioned before, and the marinade is inspired by some of my favorite Korean flavors. We are using gochujang in this marinade, which is one of my favorite Korean flavors. It's sweet and subtly spicy, and I just think that you're really gonna love it. If you're not familiar with gochujang, by the end of this video, you will, and I hope to inspire you to snag some at the store the next time you're there, because it's delicious. All right, our chicken is nice and seasoned. We're gonna jump into the marinade now. The first thing we're gonna add to our marinade is gochujang. This is a Korean fermented pepper paste. Hold on. I just want you to see how luscious and delicious this is. It's like a thick paste almost, and it is sweet and spicy, but like subtly spicy, more like warm kind of spice. When I tell people about gochujang that have never tasted it, they're always worried, like, is it too spicy? And I'm like, it is spicy, but it's like more warm spice than like too spicy, especially when you mix it with other things. It just becomes like this just delicious flavor that you can't get anywhere else. So it's awesome. All right, we're gonna add in 4 tablespoons of gochujang. Next, we're gonna add in about 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. We're also gonna add in 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, and that's gonna really help bring out that tanginess. It's really yummy. And then you cannot forget, this is like the best part for me. I love sesame oil. It is so delicious, and it really just makes any sort of marinade rich with flavor. It is so yummy. All right, and because gochujang is a little bit sweet, I'm also gonna add in about 1 tablespoon or so of honey. I'm just gonna eyeball this one. About 1 tablespoon. And because I'm garlic's #1 fan, I am such a garlic girly, I'm gonna do 3 cloves of garlic. If you're not a fan of garlic or you don't like too much, you can get away with just using 1 or 2 cloves. But I'm gonna go ham and I'm gonna do 3 because I love garlic. Yum, 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 yum. The easiest way for me to do this is just to get my handy dandy garlic peeler here. I'm gonna put 1 clove in my garlic peeler, give it a little roll on the counter, and then it comes out peeled, perfect. I'm gonna grab my microplane, it's a small grater, put it over my marinade here, and I'm just gonna grate it right into the marinade. I like doing grated garlic versus chopping the garlic just because the grated garlic really mixes in well to the marinade and sort of just like dissolves and just is delicious. This is such a tasty marinade. Like I said, we're doing this with chicken thighs. You could do this with chicken breasts. You could do this with a whole roasted chicken if you'd like. You could do this with pretty much any sort of meat that you want to roast in the oven. If you are meatless, you could definitely do this with some hearty veggies. This would be so good if you marinated like broccoli or cauliflower in this marinade. Yum. You could also mix this with tofu. The possibilities are endless. If I had fresh ginger, I would love to grate it in there, but I don't have fresh ginger on me. I do have granulated ginger, which is just as good. So I'm just gonna add 1 teaspoon of grated ginger. So at this point, this marinade is good to go. I'm gonna add in a little olive oil, about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And the olive oil just helps bring everything together. At this point, this marinade is ready to rock and roll. Just smelling it, you can smell the warm and the spice and the sweet. And when I say spice, I mean, like I said before, it's more of a warm spice. It's not like a too hot on your tongue kind of spicy. Although our family does like it a little more on the spicier side. So if your family does like spice, I would highly recommend adding about a half teaspoon of gochujang or Korean chili pepper. I have some right here, and this is what it looks like. Up close, this is what gochujang looks like. If you don't have this, you could get away with using red pepper flakes, and this will ramp up this marinade and make it more on the spicier level, which I love. But if you have kids at home and you are worried about making things too spicy, I would probably hold off on this. I don't want you to be scared of it being too spicy because it's not spicy. But if we do add this, it is now going to be a little spicy, a little bit more on the spicier side, which I like. What I'm gonna do is just pour a little bit off to the side, probably about a couple tablespoons or so, so we can use it as a sauce after the chicken cooks. So I'm gonna put that aside. And then I'm gonna pour the rest of this marinade all over the chicken. And it looks delicious. Use my tongs here and sort of just zhuzh it around the pan so every ounce of that chicken gets coated. I don't have any foil, so I'm gonna put some parchment paper over and just let it hang out, clean up, and then we're gonna pop it in the oven. All right, while the chicken is marinating, I'm gonna get started on some rice. Very simple rice. I love serving this sweet and savory chicken over plain white rice. It is absolutely delicious. Chicken and rice, you can't go wrong. Some people out there might not know how to cook rice, or maybe might need a new rice recipe, I guess you could say. Some people swear on just using a rice cooker, but my favorite way to make rice is on the stovetop, and here's how. All right, in a saucepan over medium heat, I am going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter. I don't know, I feel like rice can be sacred almost. And in our house, we make rice a lot, and this method of rice is sacred to me, and I'm excited to share it with you. So once our butter has melted, I'm going to take 1 cup of rinsed white rice, and I like using long grain jasmine rice that I've rinsed, and I'm gonna add it to my pot here. To this rice, I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt, about 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper, and then I like to add a 1/2 teaspoon of granulated garlic. Just gives the rice such good flavor. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna mix this rice, and I'm gonna just toast the rice with the butter and the seasonings we just added until I see a couple of the rice grains turn a little light golden. This is something that my grandma taught me. It's absolutely delicious. If you don't make rice this way, I highly suggest you try it out. And if you do make rice a different way or a unique way, I would love to know. So take some time and let me know down below in the comments how you make rice at home. All right, so what you're looking for is just some of the rice grains to turn a little golden. We are going to add 2 cups of water, sizzling. We're gonna give this a stir, and we're gonna let this come to a boil. When you're making rice, it's very important to know that it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So for every 1 cup of rice, you wanna add 2 cups of water. Once you add your water, you wanna bring it up to a boil, okay? And then once it comes to a boil, then you're gonna turn it on low and then cover it. So it is boiling, which is a sign to reduce it now to low, and you're gonna cover it. And you're gonna let that go for about 15 minutes or so, 15, 20 minutes. So our rice is cooking and our meat has been sitting here for about 30 minutes or so. It's perfect, and we're gonna pop it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes, or until you put a thermometer into one of these beautiful chicken thighs and it reaches 170 degrees. Next, we're going to toast some sesame seeds, and this is gonna be like sort of like a sweet, crunchy garnish on top of our chicken. It like just makes the dish so delicious and fun. So over medium-low heat, I'm gonna put a little fry pan on here, and I've got about a 1/4 cup of white sesame seeds. I'm gonna toss them in the pan. All right, so now we're just going to kind of just let these toast away. You'll know when these are toasted. They're gonna get slightly golden in color, but you're also gonna be able to smell them, which is the best part. I just turned the heat off, and look how delicious these look. You can see that some of them are golden. We have our toasted sesame seeds, and I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of honey. This is going to make it sweet. I love it. So now we have our toasted sesame seeds with a little bit of honey mixed in. We also have some of our leftover marinade, and these are gonna go great on top of our dish. It has been 15 minutes exactly. Oh, let me get that rice steam facial. Still has a little bit of moisture at the bottom, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off the heat, give it a little fluff. I'm gonna put the lid back on and just let it hang out for, I don't know, about 5 to 10 minutes, or until I'm ready to serve it. The chicken is done, and it looks absolutely delicious. It smells so good. I already took its temperature, but I just wanna cut into it and make sure, and yes, your girl slayed the chicken. That is so good. It's flavorful, savory, it's sweet. I get sweet right away, and then the spice kind of comes in and it warms up your whole mouth. It's delicious. I'm gonna get some rice here. Good scoop of rice. I'm gonna put it right in the center of my plate. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab one of these chicken thighs, put it right on top of my rice. I'm gonna use a little bit of my sauce here, and I'm just going to, I don't want too much. I'm just gonna drizzle a little extra marinade that we used onto the top of my chicken. And then I'm gonna go in with my sesame seeds, and I'm literally just gonna plop them right on top here. And this is just, oh my God, so crunchy, sweet, and delicious. For some color, we should have added like green onions, but you know what? This is good enough, baby. And that is that. Let me just, I see fancy chefs do this. Clean the side of the plate here. I want a bite of the chicken. I want a bite of the rice, and I want that sesame seed garnish we put on top. Yum. If you liked this video and you think you might try this recipe out, please give this video a thumbs up, as that really does help out the channel. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Come and join our community. We're having a lot of fun here, and it costs nothing to subscribe. So please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next week. Yum.